joined now by the head coach of the Montana State Bobcats, Brent Vigen. Coach, 10-0 for the first time in history. I know there's a lot of season left, a lot to still accomplish, but what does that mean to you?
Well, I think going undefeated this far into the season, I think it speaks to our consistency. I think it speaks to our leadership. Our preparation each week has to be on point. Because again, any given Saturday, a team can get in your way and trip you up. So to get it this far and to not have a blemish, it's significant, and it's a credit, I think, to our players and the leadership first and foremost.
Your offense totaled over 600 yards against Sacramento State, over 500 of those yards coming on the ground. How much credit do you need to give your offensive line for the success in the run game this season?
Well, it certainly starts up front, and we've been able to play really six guys for the most part through I'd say the last 7 games, rotating at our left guard position. So I think there's a piece to that where we've been able to stay relatively healthy. Those guys play extremely hard. I think they're well coached by Al Johnson. They open big holes. I think that's what shows up each and every week is that we have really good running backs, but when you're able to navigate a pretty big hole and get to the second level, good things can happen.
Of course, your running backs, Scott Humphrey, Adam Jones, have both been having phenomenal seasons. But a couple weeks ago, Julius Davis returned to your lineup. What has he brought to your offense in the short time he's been back?
Julius had a heck of a year last year and, had a tough injury going back to the end of April. So, I think the last couple weeks has been a transition. But anytime now we can roll out those 3 guys, that's pretty significant, especially this deep into the season.
Looking ahead to this week, your matchup with UC Davis. UC Davis held Montana to less than 100 yards on the ground. They lead the Big Sky in interceptions. They've had 2 picks in back-to-back games. What challenges have you seen their defense give other offenses?
Well, I think they're really disciplined, and they give I suppose a variety of looks, but nothing too crazy. So it's all sound, and I think their success starts with their front. As big a front as we've seen, and those guys are hard to move first and foremost. And I think the discipline piece is their linebackers, safeties. They're in the right gaps, and they tackle really well. So we'll have to find a way to create some space. Whether that is interior wise or getting out to the perimeter, but they're gonna be where they're supposed to be. I think that's the credit to Davis's defense is, they don't allow big plays.
We've talked about your running backs, of course. UC Davis has Lan Larison. I've seen him hurdle players in at least 3 games this season, Coach. How do you prepare your guys to defend the potential hurdle that could be coming this week?
Well, I don't think we can be thinking about that on the field. I think the biggest thing with him is you got to take good angles. You got to play with leverage. You got to play with pad level, all those things. And you need to get as many guys there as possible. He's incredibly dangerous in space. Then he's a big guy too, so he can run through an arm tackle. So it's about using proper technique. You like to say we limit the space that he's got to operate in, and when he does, we're just doing things correct on our end.